Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Amazon Audible, Deezer,
all of
Your Way Saving. I probably miss Apple. I probably miss some.
Yes.
But hey, we are live. We say welcome to the Yolanda and Cornelius show and the Leaders Lounge.
Yes,
so let me go on that side.
Come on over, Pastor.
Come
Doctor.
over. Doctor. Listen. So we on the same side now. Let's
Good,
do it.
perfect.
Boom.
Okay.
See, there we go. So
yes.
I don't
much better.
You gonna put your headphones on? I don't need headphones.
Do I need headphones?
You don't need your headphones. Make sure you got.
Apart,
yeah, you make sure you're there. Listen, y'all.
I am here.
I'm excited. We're excited.
This
You're
is
excited.
Much better.
Listen, I'm loving it. You're loving
inside. I'm coming inside.
She's coming on the inside.
Okay, good.
Okay, you got to grab my book.
Yes, sir.
This show is brought to you by Walker's Cafe and Grill, 109 Ewan Drive from 12 to 5. This show is brought to you by the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue, North Nashville, Tennessee, 37208. This show is brought to you by Forever Zion. That's www.foreverzion.com. Paparazzi Jewelry. For your boo, your bae, your significant, your subordinate, your cousin, and them, your friend, your enemy, your frenemy.
Your frenemy. Frenemies need jewelry too.
Go to www.foreverzion.com, and this show is brought to you by Trifold Outreach Ministries. That's 49 Dry Creek Road, Taylorsville, Tennessee. That meets on the second and fourth Sunday. I know Don Marie is like, Pastor, you have not taken a break, and you've given us 4 advertisements or advertisements. And how do you do it? It's called vocal memory.
Yes.
Because behavior is the what?
It's the ultimate indicator of integrity.
It's the open it. So this is my behavior.
Yes, it is.
But then last but not least, this show is brought to you by the World Class Training Institute.
Ooh.
I said World Class Training Institute. Toot. The toot, y'all. And with the World Class Training Institute, I know I'm excited, y'all. I got my preaching voice on. Mm-hmm. But speak easy. I need to learn how to become a better speaker. Is there any way possible that I could get some type of training to equip me to become a better presenter? Because I've learned from those, if you want to increase your net worth or work, increase your communication skills.
It's a mandatory.
Okay.
And leaders have to be able to communicate effectively. And in a public speaking setting, you want to be able to unlock your voice and have the confidence that is necessary to deliver your message so that it resonates with the audience in the way that you want for it to. So yes, we have the Speak Easy Summit that is coming up. I'm so glad that you asked, Pastor, on September the 19th and 20th here in Nashville, Tennessee at the Collective 615. That's 3820 Charlotte Avenue. 3820 Charlotte Avenue, a beautiful location inside the L&L Market. And we are going to unpack everything that you need to focus on the right framework to deliver a public speaking message that matters.
The right framework. So give me the framework, lady coach. Give me the framework.
Well, I'm not going to give you the framework because I want you to attend the class. And if I spent time doing that, you wouldn't attend. I'm sure you would.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
So those pieces are going to be. So for instance, I just did a little marketing piece this morning at in New Lenox, and so I started the little promo, and I did this. I said, They did that as well, and I said, are fantastic when we're singing, but they are not good when we are publicly speaking. And so many of us
that's a warm up.
Recognize that's right.
That's a turn off.
We don't recognize, and it the place where I was. We were doing 60-second pitches all around. And after I spoke, Pastor, you would be surprised at how many people
I need to see that. People need to see that.
Had the uminators going on. I said, you have to remove the uminators. But we don't even realize it. So that's just one of the things that we're going to talk about. How to remove the uminators.
Remove the uminators.
How do you?
Y'all know that's what I'm going to talk about. Remove the
uminators. Exactly. Yes.
And there's some uminators in my life.
There are some uminators
in all of our lives. And when it comes to leadership,
yes.
When the uminators show up in leadership,
when the uminators show up in communication, it can destroy a whole message. And yes, as leaders, when you're umming through the message,
or umming through the leading, umming.
Well,
I should never
through the.
Hey, what you say?
That's a whole nother Yes. Because ums are what? Fillers.
Okay.
And so you're right. When you're umming through leadership or umming through your communication, essentially what you're doing is trying to find your way through your communication. If you're umming as a leader,
slow down. Finding your way.
Yes.
Through communication.
Yes.
Slow down. Finding my way when I'm umming.
When you're umming.
Finding my way through communication. So I'm not ahead of it. I'm no longer the leader. Even when I'm the speaker.
This is very true.
Let me tell you this. I'm no longer the leader when I'm the speaker, when I'm full of the uminator.
That's correct.
So in leadership,
yep,
this is how it becomes a leadership principle.
Yes.
I wish we was in a church, because I would tell you to turn to your neighbor and high five your neighbor and tell your neighbor, God, deliver me from my uminator. That
is true.
I said,
Deliverance from.
Hold on, this is good.
Yes.
Listen, this is good.
Yes.
As a leader,
yes,
when I'm in my uminator leader syndrome, I'm no longer. I'm feeling my way through it.
That's right. Exactly.
And I have to be very. I have to be very, very careful of what I feel and how I interpret that feeling in anything. Because like Moses, he felt something in the uminator moment and really defied the order of God because of his own personal feelings and how he interpreted that feeling.
Yes.
So if I learn how to explore my feelings in it and safeguard those feelings, so that uminator can be dismantled, I'm almost positive my leadership can increase like 40 to 60%.
Absolutely, because now what you're tapping into is emotional intelligence.
Ooh, that's her favorite.
And your emotional quotient, right? Because I'm actually studying. I have a class I have to teach on that next week for a school system. And I have actually a client also who I just got this person's
congratulations
emotional quotient score back.
Okay.
And it was actually very sad because, to your point, it indicated the major problems that are happening with that person's leadership. That person is not regulating well, self-regulating, socially regulating. And there are some challenges even with motivation. The motivation score was the lowest I have seen since I've been doing emotional intelligence. And all of these things have to be at play in the right way in order for a leader to be successful. So yes, when you talk about someone not feeling in the right way, and it's not that we don't have feelings, but it's how we
interpret
them and how we manage and move through them.
And as a leader, you have to lead through others' emotions, as well as your own emotions.
That's right. Yes.
So Lady Dawn's quotient could be whatever, and then the leader's quotient can be higher above or baseline.
Yes.
And we're looking at something very catastrophic when we try to address or come to a resolution when we have emotional quotients that are, let's say, baseline.
We can. That's right. That's right. And especially when we're not aware.
Okay.
Because some people don't even, we're talking a language that some people may not even be aware exists. So we may be not regulating well or not even aware that when our amygdala, and I don't want to go too deep into the technical piece.
Why?
Because I don't want to take the people. Okay. Well, when our amygdala is triggered, if we don't have a high enough self-awareness, we're not even recognizing that we're snapping on someone because it could be something as simple as we're tired. We have to be aware of our energy window. And if our energy window is exceeded, we may be not patient with people who are in our stead simply because we're tired. So that's one element of your emotional intelligence, self-awareness.
Okay. And we're closed because we don't want to give it away?
Yes. I'm sorry?
We're going to close and shift gears.
We're going to shift gears. Yes, we're going to shift gears because we don't want to go too deep on that today.
What's our quote? What's our hook?
Behavior over everything.
No.
Oh, behavior is the primary indicator. You say it because of integrity. This is the last time I'm going to say it because
I don't know why. You can't do that. Leadership. How's the leader going to say this to that last?
I have to transition. So, because I have to make sure you're learning.
Yeah, listen.
Excuse me, I don't want to.
You're fine, okay. But you're fine. Behavior is the highest indicator
of integrity. Yes.
Behavior is the highest indicator of integrity. Behavior is the highest indicator of integrity.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
So today, that's what we want to talk about.
That's what we want to talk about.
What behaviors are we looking for to make sure that we have these integral functions or functionality to make us just subpar leaders?
Well, so I'm going to tap into one that's in Unpacking Agape,
which is
a carrier of ethics.
Which is what? What is Unpacking Agape?
Unpacking Agape is my book.
Is what?
Unpacking Agape is my book, The 7 Languages of Intentional Leadership. Yes. And language is a behavior best communicated by behavior. We can speak in words, right? English, French, Swedish, etc. But the best way for me to really know that you're integral is to see you at work.
Examine your behavior.
To examine your behavior.
I read this.
I'm going to say something even today because as I was walking here, you and I didn't communicate right before I came, but I remember.
Is that a bad thing?
When we first started, no, because you know what? Your behavior already has shown me that if your word said you're going to be there, that's where you're going to be.
Okay.
And so I said, I don't have to call him. I don't have to hear what he has to say because I already know because you have demonstrated through your behavior that when you say you're going to be somewhere, that's exactly where you're going to be. And so this is what we're talking about when we say a carrier, one element of being a carrier of ethics. It's almost back to the children who get upset when their parent, father, for some, says they're going to be there and they don't show up.
Mm-hmm. No integrity, or very little. Or you've exhausted your account.
After so many times, you have exhausted your account. Exactly.
That's good.
You have exhausted your account. And your behavior, which is the highest indicator of your integrity, has failed.
So now we operate in the red, which is a bad place to be in because now it's all about emotions.
Emotional bank account.
But it's all about your emotions.
That's right.
It's all about the way I feel.
That's right.
And sometimes I cannot feel F-E-E-L through. I can't feel my way through this.
I can't F-E-E-L my way
through this.
Right.
I can't feel my way through this.
Right, because you have an F-I-L-L-E-D me up.
See?
That's it.
Okay. Y'all, she does too much, doesn't she?
Yes.
She does too much. She says too much.
You take me there, Pastor.
Listen,
you take me.
I can't feel my way through this. Stop. As a leader.
That's right.
As high as your quotient is.
Right.
Please try not to F-E-E-L your way through it.
That's correct. Right.
Because I'm almost guaranteed from the biblical paradigm that we have and share, Abraham did not F-E-E-L good about sacrificing his son. Mm-mm. He couldn't feel his way through
That's
it.
true. Right. That's true. Yes.
Moses, the great leaders, Gideon.
Right.
They couldn't feel their way through everything.
That is true. You cannot.
And when you rely on your feelings, especially when you're quotient, let me just say, can I use this term, baseline?
Baseline, yeah. Mm-hmm. You can. You may.
Baseline.
Yes.
Because I don't want anybody to leave this podcast thinking, oh my God, I'm in the dumps or whatever.
Right.
But when your leadership quotient is baseline, we're going to have to level some things up in some other areas.
Yes.
We have to look at some other strengths.
We do. We have to look at some other strengths. And we have to first know and then make a decision to strengthen those areas of opportunity in our emotional quotient. And it can be done individually, but the first thing I heard somebody say yesterday, the thing that you have to have over everything?
What's that?
A made-up mind.
Oh my God, that's so simple but deep.
So simple but deep. It is simple but deep. We have to have a made-up mind. And as you know, we're always struggling with the battlefield of the mind. Not always, but often that becomes the biggest challenge.
So, have exhausted my account.
Yes.
I got to know my energy window.
Right.
I need to know my
taking
emotions.
Good notes. I love how he takes notes. He takes such great notes. I came in and saw he had written in the book. Show him the inside of the book.
Are you serious?
Show him the inside of the book. Just flash it to the people so they can see.
Forgive my penmanship.
Yes, look at that.
I do take notes.
I was so excited.
She's like, oh my God, Pastor, like, what is this? Like, I can't even read what I wrote. I know what's supposed to be
all right.
there.
That meant he took some notes.
That means but I'm studying it.
You're studying.
Because I want everybody to understand that you need to get this book,
right.
Unpacking Agape,
yes.
the 7 language of intentional leadership.
You do.
Because leadership is a language.
Leadership
and
is
a lifestyle.
That's right, it is.
We just don't lead with our lips, we lead with our life.
That's right, we do.
And behavior is the highest form.
Indicator.
The highest indicator.
Of.
Integrity.
That's it.
Behavior is the highest indicator of integrity.
Yes.
I gotta remember that, y'all.
Yes.
So don't exhaust your account. Know your energy window. Mm-hmm. I remember you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just need to make sure that I learn how to examine where I am emotionally.
Right.
How often should we assess our emotional quotient?
It's a regular check. And so I'll just take myself as an example. I have really started to tap more into when my amygdala is being triggered. And so there's a feeling inside of me, especially when somebody has done something that I may not have liked. And instead of me going into that emotional place, when I feel my amygdala rising, I'll do a self-check. Nope. Bring it back.
That's difficult.
Bring it back. It can. It can be. But it's so powerful.
But it's so difficult.
It's so difficult.
Who taught me that?
Well, who taught you what?
What you're doing, where did I learn that skill? Because listen, in the culture that you and I, you grew up in a city. And we were taught, knock this off my shoulder, this on. When we were kids, even as kids, we would test confrontations. Amygdalas all over the place. Even though we weren't really hurting each other back then, but at 6 and 7, you became physical in your confrontation. You didn't have the skill set. Then at 16, you're doing some other things. Now in our 30s, I'll say we in our 30s. We're in our 30s. In our 30s. In our 30s plus. Our 30s plus.
Yes. Seasoned.
So I'm telling you, I have never learned or I've never developed what you're talking about in the last 30 years to make sure I know how to respond to the trigger appropriately. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
So now I become very narcissistic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Here it comes.
Yes,
Here comes the revelation.
Yes.
I know when she...
Well, first let me say this. Can you believe I've never been in a fight?
Kind of, sort of.
In my whole life.
But you've seen several.
I've seen a few. I run from them. I
never
want to be in.
You never did. But you've seen some.
Nobody mess them up.
Right. Messing up the glory. I'm not.
We gonna just
leave that there. This was made in heaven, and we don't want human hands messing up what the glory has given.
I'm not.
But I'm just saying.
But I understand completely what you're saying. The illustration is correct. And even though I may not have gotten into a fight, I may have had some other challenges, because the other way it shows up is avoidance. So instead of us being able to handle conflict in a healthy way through conversation, we may run in the opposite direction, never addressing it. And that's not good either, because if nothing is solved, nothing gets solved. And so it can create escalations in our lives unnecessarily, or erosion of goals, which is another challenge from not handling times when people trigger our amygdala. And so we let it go, and we maybe don't say anything, or we let it slide for a few moments, and then or weeks or whatever, and the person does it again.
You in something.
Exactly.
The escalation or the erosion of goals.
That's correct.
So anytime I do not check my emotional quotient,
Mm-hmm.
there's a possibility that thing could escalate, and the goal that I'm shooting for can erode.
That's correct. Yeah, that's very true. That's true. And I'm even going to say one other thing that particularly. I'm going to go into the mail and then, we run out of time already. But I'm going to say one other thing, because we have to also understand, we're thinking about our emotional intelligence and our behaviors, that our amygdala is triggered in distress and eustress, which means things that are happy and exciting. And sometimes because people have been disappointed, they don't know how to handle eustress. So when you should, you know how when you're little, or I know when my son was little, I'd go pick him up at the daycare. He would come and run and hug me because he was so excited. But when people get met with people who don't receive them well when they are happy, then they don't even know how to handle happiness or joy. So that's a challenge as well.
Let me chew on that. I've been so distressed.
Yes.
That it's very difficult for me to handle happiness and joy.
Eustress. That's right.
Now, y'all, if that's not a mic drop, and we'll see y'all in the next lifetime. That due to the distress in my life,
yes,
I don't even know how to handle happiness.
That's correct.
And joy.
Enjoy that moment. So we're not even fully living because we're afraid to lean into eustress.
Eustress is what exactly?
It's moments of excitement in a positive way. Just like distress are moments of negative. Exactly. That's right.
Okay. Now, y'all, we weren't planning to talk about
this.
We
were
today.
not, but we went here, and this is a good conversation it's helpfed. Yes, right.
Now, we only have 3 minutes.
Of course we did. Oh my God. No, and we just got here. But
so tell us about Speak Easy. We need to talk about your book and where I need y'all to show up on these days.
And I'm gonna. So September the 19th and 20th in Nashville, Tennessee, the Speak Easy Summit is coming to you. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. each day. We designed it that way so that you could take care of whatever you need to take care of early in the day. Go grab some lunch. We'll have some snacks for you as well, of course. But then come on and learn how to, as we say, unlock your voice, build your confidence, and speak easy. We're going to go through the framework that is necessary for creating public speaking assignments. We are going to talk about the uminators and some of the other fillers that take away from us delivering a message in a clear way. We're even going to delve into PowerPoint, because sometimes when we're not comfortable, or perhaps we just don't know how to create them, we use PowerPoint and it becomes more of a it stands more in the way rather than serves as a complement to your public speaking assignment. And so we don't want that to happen as well. It's almost as Pastor was saying at the beginning of this, instead of the PowerPoint holding you up, it holds you up.
Ooh,
and you're not delivering
the Lord
delivered
yes.
that. So yes,
the Lord delivered it,
and you delivered it.
Well, he just told me, stop trusting people that you think are able to hold you up.
That's right.
When they're really actually holding you up.
Oh my goodness.
And then my amygdala.
Yes.
The erosion of goals, the escalation.
Yes.
My emotional quotient.
Yes.
I'm exhausting my account.
Yes.
My energy windows.
Yes.
All of these things.
That's right.
It is distress.
It's distress.
Not eustress.
Not eustress. That's
so
right.
Now I trusted you.
Yes.
To hold me up.
Yes.
But you held me up.
You held.
Yeah. Somebody.
Oh my goodness! We're gonna run around.
Listen,
that's
y'all,
good stuff.
So I need y'all,
Yes.
you lovely individuals, and you talked about them uminators. It's funny. Even you had to think about what was going to be said next,
Yes.
because, and this is both of us, we hadn't developed exactly what we were going to say. We just stepped into the moment.
That's right, exactly.
So people of God, listen to me. People that might not be of God. Some of this is not scripted. This show was not scripted from the beginning, but because she and I have walked together long enough, and done this,
right.
It's not that we don't need a script,
Right.
but we know how to discern the script in our souls.
That's right.
Let me say it that way.
Right.
So that we can have a successful show.
That's right.
But we are the products of Speak Easy.
Right.
Or you're in the
true.
industrial psychology and coaching and all of those things. She does presentations. For some reason, somebody let me teach their children for 16 years, so I've done a few presentations. Correct?
A few,
just a few.
Yes, and he blessed.
Come on, Ron, come on in here.
And we're moving over. Yes,
listen, we got to get out of here, y'all. Speak Easy. It's been the Yolanda and Cornelius show. Up next is the Christian Business Connection with your host Ronald Jasmine.
Yes,
Lady Dawn Marie Morris. Get this book.
Thank you so much,
Unpacking
Pastor,
Agape,
for having me as well. Yes,
we're getting off of here, Paul. Good people. We thank you. See you next time. And
care.
Where will we be able to see this?
Oh, you can see it on Apple and all of that.
When?
As you did.
When?
This week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us when.
Are we on the radio? Oh,
Don't move.
Yes, it will be on Spotify and all of the streaming, Apple, all of the streaming platforms this week. Look for it by no later than Thursday to upload it. Probably tonight, but we'll have to, massage it a little bit and get it out there to you. So yes, please feel free to listen. Thank you so much. I forgot what. All right. What's happening?
Hello.
How are you?
Great.